Hey folks, this is Bill Conrad. I'm in the Netcasting 101 test zone and I'm on Blab today. And we're trying to figure out how to make sure that the iPad through BossJock is working. I only got a few things set up. There's only so much time in the day. But the whole idea is to be able to introduce the sound effects and to do less post editing to get the show up faster, especially if I'm doing a daily show timeline. Because there's a lot to do. It takes me a while. Of course, I time everything when I do stuff. So when we do it, we can do it over and over and do it better. Probably should be timing this. So here's what we sound like. I'm going to do an introduction. I'm going to do this several times because I got to get good at practicing. So I hit a gliss first. That means the start and the end of the show. And then I put in music. At the end of the show, I put in music. Also, I need to go develop a music for the breaks. So here we go. I got to always remember to turn up the sound. Probably should turn it all the way up, get used to the top. Now it's light. Now, I don't know why it's light. I didn't do anything. It just reduced its sound because it was louder earlier. That is so weird. I had it all the way up too. Weird. Now it's hitting the red. I have mono in there too. I wonder if I should put wave files. This is an AIF. Man, it's capping it's hitting the top every time. So I guess I need to adjust these sounds too. It's only about a 1/4 inch up from the bottom right now. It's clipping a little bit. Still clipping and then the yellow. Sorry out there if I'm driving you nuts. It's not clipping there. Man, it's only up about a 1/4 inch. I'll have to work on these sounds. Welcome to Timelines, episode 445. Today we have John Wayne. John Wayne is known for his cowboy movies, his work, and all the great things he's done. Thank you, John Wayne, for coming on Timelines. That's not a very good intro. But then I hit... No, that's not how I do it. Welcome to WP Tonic. Today we have Pippin Williams. Pippin Williams, no. Welcome to episode 145. There's not enough play in this. I only have it up a 1/4 inch. Distorting up there. So maybe if I turn this down here. Also, I could turn this down. And it doesn't make a difference. It's distorting. It's distorting on the pad. It's clipping on the pad. God, this is tougher than I thought. It shouldn't be this tough. See if I can turn down the sound here. I don't think this will make a difference. No, that just makes it quieter. It still clips. Still clipping on the pad. At least today I'm not. At least I'm not breaking. Still clipping on the pad, so I guess I make the waves smaller on here. Make them all wave. Let me try this one. This is a wave. Amazing the difference right now. So anyway, that's about 1/2 inch. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Who is that? Was that Rob? I think the successful people actually have someone else doing all the behind the scenes so they can forward it being out front. And but I'm trying to create a school and set stuff up. Don't want to really do it. I do it for a few people a little bit, but I think I want to set up online training and systems and processes, plus produce my own show. My 2 shows I like, of course, are Meet the Voter, and I think that has a lot of legs. And of course, the Daily Show. I'll do a daily interview and get it up every day, 5 days a week, maybe 6, but with a Sunday show, that's 7. And then I'll put up the other record shows. I always have shows in reserve. So here we go. And it's easy, but there's a lot to do. Okay, let me try. I think, it's not, let me see if it's, see now, is it muted out now? No, it's not muted out. This is weird. Now, this is really crazy. Let me try something. There's a mix. So you can't. Here's a called mix. Mix gives me a little bit more play. Mic, more play, but I don't think I want to use mic. That's cart. It's not cutting out now. It's weirdly weird. I don't think it's the best platform. And I did it with the jet. So anyway, you guys want to come up and say hi? That's probably it for today. I'm going to go in and start editing right now. Not sure what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on working on this. I might play around with this afternoon. But I'm going to see you guys. There's Rob. Hey, Rob.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, you look good. Yeah, you look good. You got the blue background.
Are you hitting on me?
Yeah. Don't tell my wife.
Yeah. So what is Boss Jack?
You look really good. You look really good with the lights and the color. Whatever you're doing it right. What are you? Is that a fake background project?
It's a TV.
In the background?
Mm-hmm.
A real TV?
Promise.
Like a big TV?
Here, I'll zoom out so you can see it.
Oh man, you're literally looking squared away. Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You set that. Where'd you set that up at?
This is my office studio.
Oh, I am jealous. That's your real studio.
Yeah, well, I'm at work. Usually when I come onto your shows.
Oh man, can I take it? Let me take a picture of that. Well, you know, I got it. I'm recording this.
Yeah, there you go.
That is beautiful. Do that again.
Do what? Start from the beginning?
No, zoom back out.
Oh.
You actually look sharp. You got the right colors on. I got this nasty old shirt on. I can wear my West Point.
So I'll show you the.
I love that. Oh, that's so nice.
Got the panels and.
Oh, that is beautiful. Let's see what else you got. What kind of equipment you have in there? What are you using for a camera?
I've got a Cisco Precision HD 60 in the front, and
what's that cost?
$6,000.
Oh.
And I've got just a consumer Canon camera on the side for 2 cameras, so I can basically do.
Let's see what your Canon looks like
that kind of stuff.
What are you using for a management system?
We've got a kind of a. Let me get back to this. We've got a homebrew system that we put together a couple of years ago that does all the management with an iPad.
You must be loving this blab potential.
Oh, like you know,
blab is on. You know what? People don't realize it. This is amazing what we're doing.
No.
I'm jealous now. God, I wish I had more money.
The benefit of monetization, right?
See how I look great. Your colors are amazing. What are you using for mixing your colors?
So most people. I'm getting an echo. Is that me or you?
I have no echo. I'm not hearing any echo. I'm not recording any echo.
Most people are doing all of their editing on their laptops or desktops using Minicam or XSplit, but I've got an off-board video mixer, so it's combining all my sources independent, and then I'm running it into the computer as a USB 3.0. So I've got a lot more bandwidth than a typical USB 2.0 webcam.
Yeah. Are you using this puppy right now to Collective Sound? The better blue host, Blue Yeti.
The Blue Yeti. I am. I'm not really thrilled with that. I think I'm going to take this home and use it at home.
It's a condensing mic, and it works fine in that room because you have no noise. I mean, you sound fine in that room. You can use a condensing mic if it's set up right, like you have. In fact, condensing mic is what they use in radio stations, don't they? Mostly, or some kind of cardioid condensing.
Yeah, the only thing I haven't put in the studio yet, and I'll try to do this next week, will be a digital mixer so that I can have multiple mics. I also want to add a wireless mic so that I can go out into to the other conference rooms and where we build a lot of the systems that we put in.
God, that's beautiful what you're doing. So that's a conference center that you have. You built conference centers.
We do. I mean, I don't have a conference center here at our office. We just have a few conference rooms and offices, but yeah,
I have one place to improve for you. Wait a second. I've taken a picture this morning, so I took it down. Yeah, I don't have it. You know the ring lights, the circle ring lights? You have a little bit of shadow right here. See, I got bad shadow. I'm really bad because it's down light. Where's my light? I don't know where it went to. My wife was taking pictures. That's really good. I think people need studios in the house as well. Here's one of the problems I have. I got a window here and it's snowing outside. So even during the show, these constantly adjust. So I probably need to have a black curtain I just drop on top of that and not use any outside light.
Mm-hmm.
That's really bad. See the eyes? I got to find this. Where'd it go? Oh, it's right here. Duh.
The ring light?
No, I don't have a ring light. I got the magic blow out your eyes light. This is called the $50 solution. The whole system, the whole lighting system.
It's not the cost, it's the result.
I'm going to get a ring light. I feel like taking this bed out of here. I can't figure out where I could put this bed. I have 4 bedrooms, and we do have my mom comes up. And we live in a great part of Reno. It's like a vacation place. Beautiful. You see how pretty it is outside right now. I'm looking outside. There's snow on the trees, and there's a mountain right goes up like this.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely gorgeous. But I need to get a black drop-down curtain on top of it because the light does change. I'm going to try to get you. That's the way to do is have that backlit screen like you have.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people try to use the green screens and chroma keys and stuff like that, and it's just a fail because they've got the green halo and their camera face is real dark because the software is trying to overcompensate. And it's like, if in order to do a solid green screen, you've got to have perfect lighting and you've got to be sensitive to the clothes that you're wearing. You saw, I mean, we used to do the green screen all the time in here, but I was never satisfied with the result. So I basically just said, you know what, screw it. TVs are good enough nowadays where you can't tell. And I mean, that's what.
Yeah, you don't have the flicker issue anymore. The hurts. I hate these glasses. I got these on accident and I paid a ton of money for them. And they change, they brown. I'd never, ever get a adjusting set of glasses. It's going to be my driving glasses, but they look crappy on the show. I got these glasses too. These are my Army issue glasses here. They work.
Why don't you just get bifocals?
Yeah.
Just can see the age and.
I didn't, I was a pilot for a long time, so I took a flight physical. I had good eyes for a long time. I hate these though. Now you're using PCs though. I
am.
If I do anything on my Mac with like cam twist, it blows up. It's really bad for the Mac. You got to be really careful with the Mac. But you got to be careful with PCs too. You can get viruses out the wazoo in a PC still. But an average person with a Mac is going to be a lot better off.
There just aren't a lot of video editors. Yeah, but there aren't a lot of video editors available. I mean, you mentioned Cam Twist. Is it Cam Twist or Camista?
No, I think it's Cam. I don't know. I think it's Cam Twist.
Okay. There's for sure a lot more video editors available for the Windows platform.
Yeah, and all the way across, I think in some ways it's simpler. I have the Adobe suites, and I've still not mastered the Adobe suites. It's Cam, CAMTWIST.
Cam Twist. Okay.
But this is an amazing platform. This is like how you get good though, because if you just keep on doing it, you will get better. You'll improve on your sound, your voice, what to do. You have that inference and inflection. You're already there. I mean, you've got the professional stuff there. Now you have to just do it.
Right. And well, I mean, but I didn't just do it because it's kind of just I mean, it's in doing audio video for 15 years, you would hope that I would have learned something along the way.
Yeah, no, you did. But I mean, it's now Blab. You have to create the content.
Yeah.
You have to create the content. Was it you? You've got that network you're trying to put together. Is it your network or your friend's network? What is it?
So it's not mine. It's and it's a collection of people. It's not really owned, and it's not like you and I would think about it in terms of it being, getting the LLC and all
License.
that kind of stuff. Yeah, they haven't done that. It's really just a community idea at this point. And it's about 10 different shows that have kind of just connected with each other under the banner, the Hype Network or THN. And they're using it as, and I love this because it's brilliant, is cross-pollinating the shows. So they should be finished up with the website today. And then it's going to be, so let's say you were doing Meet the Voter and let's say THN had a show right after your show. So during that show, you and I would be putting comment cards in the comment section saying, hey, after this show, make sure you tune into, and then you put the link so that people can basically tribe from show to show to show to show.
Yeah. You got to link the shows. Hey, and that will help. Cross-pollinate, if you stood a little bit, that helps get it up. Hey, quick question. You need to come on timelines. Just do one. You can do more than one. But you can talk about first timeline is just about 8 minutes about yourself, background, where you're from, your school, why you do what you do, how you got to where you are. And the second are those life success principles. And you just work through that worksheet. They can be 5. 5 seems to be a nice balance for most people for timeline. And then a couple breaks, and then that's it. I'm trying to get all this digital music in, but you should come on from your studio there. So why don't you set it for like Monday or Tuesday next week?
I can't next week at all because I'm going to be I'm going to be in Washington D.C. all I mean, I'll be around, but during the day, I'll be on site.
Yeah.
But after that, I mean, we'll be closing down the business the 23rd through the 3rd or 4th of January.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you're going to be broadcasting.
I'm going to broadcast every day. I'm going to try to go live next week every day with a show. If it doesn't happen, I'll just put a backup show every day. Okay. Here's my schedule. I'm going to want to do like from 9 to 10 or 9 to 9:30, the test zone, which is just every day a test zone. I'm just putting up on YouTube like we're doing today. We're looking at different techniques, business. We're just talking. It's not being recorded for iTunes. Then from after 9:30, about 10 o'clock, I'm going to go up and do a recording, which will be a timeline. And the timeline should be, the actual recording stuff should be about 22 to 24 minutes. The whole thing shouldn't take more than 45 minutes with a client, with the person I'm interviewing.
Using your timer?
Yeah. No, I time everything though. I mean, I literally time, when I edit something, I time when I edit. It does two things. One, it makes me work against the clock that instead of taking breaks, or if I go out and have a sandwich in the middle of timing something, but it keeps me on task. It's like focus.
Even eating a sandwich?
No. If I'm editing something and I get the urge to go eat something, if I'm on the timer, I'll stick and finish it. You see what I'm saying? Or if I get interrupted, the timer's still moving. I want to see what that test takes, because the hardest thing is editing.
Yeah.
I'm not hardest, but I don't know. You got to edit. You got to get fast at editing.
Well, you either. So I probably organically just took a cheating thought to that, in the sense that, I've done a little bit of video editing for some of my kids' videos, and it was so laborious that I'm like, you know what? The best way to do this is just to get it all right the first time.
Yeah, no, you're right. They say that. Do it the best you can. That's why we're doing it live. The other thing is, I don't know of anybody doing a live, quote unquote, live podcast where you do it live and you put up right away, but it's live every day. I know a lot of people batch them, maybe make 30 at one time, 30 in a couple of days, or 10 each week, and then they put them up, they schedule them up. Mm-hmm. So I still have reserve. I can put the reserve in when I'm not here, but get up on podcasts. Hey, what do you think is going to happen to podcasts?
I never really gravitated towards podcasts. So that was a phenomenon that's come. It wasn't anything that I gravitated to. I mean, I'm sensitive to the fact that I'm 46 years old. So a lot of technologies, are just going to slide past me because I'm aging. And, every day I get farther and farther detached from technology.
That's interesting.
But I do think Blab is unique because it's collaborative. And, and in some ways, I'm not trying to beat you up on it, but I think for those people that are going to get the best out of Blab, both as the audience and the viewers, are those that early on understand that you've got to bring people in. You've got to be very mindful of the comments, saying hello to the people. Mm-hmm. And that's where it's at, because many times, I mean, I haven't been on Blab that long, but I've built a solid following of people that I hang out with and goof around with on Blab. And so you get used to being greeted, I guess, on Blabs. Maybe not the ones that are like 100 plus or 50, but generally speaking,
when somebody shows up above.
Yeah. When somebody hops in, it's almost common courtesy to say, hey, hey, Roxanne, how you doing? And because as a viewer, I've kind of gotten used to that, because most of the Blabs I'm going into, I usually know who they are. Mm-hmm. But if they don't say anything and it's not on point, I'll probably exit and find something else. So noting that, I'm like, if you're broadcasting and you're doing a show, you've got to be glued to the comments, because those are the people that are watching you, right? I mean, it's important to collaborate with the person that you're talking to on camera,
right?
But you also have to have a second eye, asking questions to your audience, baiting them to come on and, go through the camera cycle. Because that's where you get the uniqueness of Blab that can't be replicated on podcasts and YouTube videos and stuff like that.
So when I'm looking at Meet the Voter, just doing about 20 minutes of real quick, here's the panel, the 4 people, because you got 4 people locked in. And then after the 20 minutes, do exactly what you said. Or for me to drop back and just work on the text, the backside text. Mm-hmm. Now, Meet the Voter is a beast to try to edit.
I'll bet.
Because it's long, and I'm trying to just do the first 20 minutes on iTunes. And I'm not even, it doesn't have its quote unquote own iTunes channel yet. What you do is I've got 3 channels. And one of them's cheap, and one of them costs money, and then one of them's WP Tonic.
Okay.
So I put it up on the Politics of Success just to play with it, and, you know, place it there and test it. But once I get, let's say, 1,000 addresses associated with that show,
Mm-hmm.
which I think I should be able to get, email addresses plus a social network, and I think I can get, you know, a lot of reviews when I put this new channel up and downloads. I'll do it because you can make new noteworthy on podcasting. It'll shoot your numbers to 3,000 really fast. And from there, you can go higher.
So what's the benefit to that? I mean, maybe it's I'm sure it's
You're
pure.
at 3,000. It's CPM is for a commercial is $15 CPM 1,000. So if you have 3,000, that's $45 a commercial. 3 commercials a show, maybe 5.
That you get paid or you have to pay?
No, you get paid. That's called CPM. Let's say you have 30,000 like John Lee Dumas has. And they also look at the evergreen part too. He's making, I think he's made up close to 90,000 a month, but he does a daily show.
90,000 viewers or dollars?
Dollars a month.
Wow, that's awesome.
On just this Mac. Then he makes about it varied. He varies each month. The lowest I've seen him is about 110,000 this year. And the other thing I'm working on is just, and it's a lot of work, and it's pennies, but you have to do is affiliates.
You said 2 different things. Is it per month or is it per year?
No, per month. The lowest he's made this year that I've seen is 110, which is last month. But the month before, he netted over 400,000. He closed out his show. So it's to be made. But I think, here's what I think. I think you have to work as a team with people. He's got a team, and he contracts out a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you've got to. I mean, that was kind of one of the points that I was saying. And actually, Roxanne chimed on this about being a producer is trying to do. I mean, the studio presence system that I've got here is an attempt at a do-it-yourself TV studio.
It looks great.
But what this studio can't address are addressing comments on the side and addressing the live viewers, because that's a human analog thing to do. You
need 3 people. I can step back though. I can drop off of time of Meet the Voter. I can drop off of it and go on, you know, down below and work on and just sending somebody back a little message or recognizing that they tweeted or see their question. I went back the other day. I missed some questions. I went back and got back to the people. Also, you know, it seems crazy. Even though I've got a lot of accounts on Twitter, I'm just now starting to understand Twitter. Hi, Roxanne. Let's put her on. So let's see if hey, by the way, we're doing this.
Hi, Roxanne.
Hey.
Here's Roxanne. Keep on going.
I like your profile.
Whose? Bill's or mine?
Rob, yours.
Oh, thank you.
This looks amazing. That's for Roxanne, the sound. It's working better today. It's not clipping. I think it was this piece right here is making a clip. Not having a really good headset.
Ooh, that's too loud.
Is that really loud on your side?
It's real loud.
Really?
I'm not weird. Headphones.
How's it sound now?
I would turn it down a little bit.
I'm going to turn it way up. I want you to tell me how. Is that blowing you out?
It's too loud. Yeah.
Man, I got it all the way down on this side. It's weird.
If you did that to me as a viewer, I would be so gone out of your show, because that literally is painful to my ears. It's so loud.
Really, somebody coming in. That's interesting.
Yeah,
now you don't have to use you don't have to use headset. The other thing I'm doing too is I'm going around town, and I've interviewed the mayor. The mayor's been on timelines of my town. The congressman's been on my show, and I've had almost all the state officials on my show, my timeline show. If you look,
That's cool.
Interviewing them, and what I'm doing now is I bought my wife a MacBook Pro, and I'm sending her out. She's a real estate broker, restarting in Reno, and sending her out to do the interview with the people, not to do the interview, but to set the camera and just be there to say hi. And then I interview for here. That way I know we've got a good setup. You know, showing her to do that with a person, and then I can come up on Zoom. And
she's starting to do a lot of the 360 videos with.
Well, I used to do that years ago. I did that a long time ago. I had a 2-lens Kodak camera that had double lenses. It was really neat. I could swivel it, and I did 360. My stuff was amazing. I think it was after I was activated. Then after 9/11, all I did was work on the real estate side. I took all my design, build, construction, didn't do it, and I went out and did I also did property. We sent $5,000 worth of postcards. We're making big money in the early 2000s. Big money in the real estate company. huge.
That's awesome.
And really frustrating though, because my wife never wanted to expand or build it. You know, we had a nice little company, but when I went back into active duty for 5 years, and she'd run it when I was deployed before. She didn't want to run the brokerage and didn't want the overhead because there's a lot of stuff that goes on with a build, having a building.
Mm-hmm.
She just didn't want to do it anymore. We had police officers when I was on city council. We had a police officer's son hit pellets 7 times in a big plate glass.
Oh.
Guess what? We caught him. It was a police officer's son. And it was during negotiations too with the police.
Oh, wow.
I can tell you all sorts of stories about fire and police, public employee and negotiations. The people don't know, especially firefighters.
We may not know, but I'm sure we wouldn't be surprised.
You just look at the wages and what they get in retirement compared to a normal person.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate what they do, and I really like volunteers. But when a fire department gets rid of all their volunteers and doesn't let me backfill because they want the overtime, and my argument was I want rested firefighters. I don't want them to do 2 shifts back to back. They get huge amounts of money when they do 2 shifts, 24 hours. I always want to put someone else in there. No 2 shifts.
Well, plus the pension. I mean, it's funny when government people talk to me, they're like, oh, well, we don't really make a lot of money. And they try to.
It's bad when you have a volunteer fireman show a new EMT how to put in the line. My husband's a volunteer.
California's got rid of almost all volunteers because of the union and the California health and safety code.
I don't think they'll do that out here.
Then I tried to do a professional reserve where they're actually being paid and reservist, and then you go from reserve to the full time. Couldn't get that through. Then the fire chief and I were pretty close. We always worked together because I'm chairman of public safety. We wanted to put dualies out there with EMTs on them, but the union wouldn't go for that, and that's more responsive and because it reduced manning.
Yeah.
Because when you hit to a car fire, you just need a truck and a dually, and the dually can get there faster. It's 5 people. You need 5 people. But what they do is they bring 2 trucks out, which is 6 people because you have 3 people on each truck.
Right.
And then in the ladder truck, they put the EMTs on the ladder trucks, which is ridiculous. Now you got to shoot a ladder truck out.
I'm sorry, stupid.
No, but they do that for manning and numbers. And then we had 10 slots full time we put in, we got through, but then they wouldn't allow us to fill them. Formally, this is another thing too. When we applied, when we opened it up for firefighters, we had 2 positions open. We opened it up, we got 4,000 applications in Modesto. And then you sort it by computer. Then you bring them in to take a physical, not to like running and a written physical. Then you look, and that's about 1,000. Then you break those down and name it 1 to 1, however many numbers, 1 to 50. And then you start from the bottom, interviewing, going through the process until they find the right person. It's amazing though. One of the firefighters' sons made it to the 4,000 in the same town. You expect that though.
Yeah.
Now they're good. They're highly qualified and solid folks. I mean, towards their ability and safety and life and all that. But it's just a lot of people want to be firefighters because it's a very good lifestyle. It's a good thing to do. But the pay, I think, is out of balance. And what happens in California the last year, they get 3% at 50. They get all their overtime. They can save up all their leave and cash it in the last year and then get 3% of that up to 85% of their entire pay for that last year. And some were getting $8,000 to $10,000 retirement back, 10 years ago.
We don't do that good here.
So, but that was California. And, several cities went bankrupt here because of that.
We don't do that good here.
Stockton is one of the places that went bankrupt. They also got hit by the housing crunch, the reduced housing.
So when they go bankrupt, what does that translate into? Is that just effectively a temporary delay in the firefighters getting paid, but eventually they get it? Get a huge lump sum, or
the judge basically said that the priority went to, and this is really bad. Priority went to the public employee unions in California. California is very liberal on a lot of stuff. It's a good state, but it's a lot of liberal stuff. And the bond people took it in the pants first. People had the bonds, even the parks and stuff.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's. I mean, government's tough. It's so cronyism everywhere. It's so crony. You're in D.C., you see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Just what's happening right now with the Republicans. I mean, I'm happy we're doing the show now because I can talk, but the Republicans have done so poorly the last 2 years. I mean, that's pathetic. Democrats are worse, but the Republicans could have made a difference and they didn't.
I'll be curious as we get closer and closer to the election, particularly over the summer, to maybe have your wife come on, because you expressed that she had some similar views that I did. But it'll be, I'll be curious.
Yeah, she did when I got back from Afghanistan. This is ridiculous.
I think we'll get this. We'll get the sense of whether I'm.
Don't you believe in the Constitution?
Of course, I believe in the Constitution.
I mean, don't you believe it's going to outlast the yahoos?
I'm sure conversations like this existed in Rome, and
I read
Rome lasted 500 years. But you know what got Rome is they got invaded. They got invaded basically. The Huns came down and wiped them. They lost 5 legions up in. What started is they lost 5 legions up in Germany. In the reign over 3 days.
That Hillary did, talking about drugs, medicine. Mm-hmm. Did you read that this morning?
No, all I know about Hillary is what she did was classified material.
No, she wanted to do about the meds, sending more of them overseas because of the taxes on medicines. And I'm thinking, well, we don't want to send them to China, because what they put in them there, the aspirin and the Bayer and all of that we don't get. They have to pass the regulations again before we can even let them be made over there.
You're saying she wants to produce it overseas?
Yeah, that way they can tax them coming back.
It would be pretty easy to test it, though, wouldn't it? Can you just test the meds coming back?
Well, so who are we going to rely to test on it?
What's that?
But then it's like, who do we choose to?
No, when I say test, you test them for purity. I'm sure they're already proven FDA. I mean, United States is very stringent on how we approve drugs. What's really weird, and I'm learning this too, is if there's certain things that people can do to not be a drug, and then they can use it, but it still has the effects of drugs. It's a really fun line in the United States. Every country is different.
It's a very fun line with me.
Yeah, every country is different.
So if you bring that up on Meet the Voter, I'm very set on meds and what they do and what they don't do.
Well, you can bring it up. Just come up. You can come up and bring it up in a lot of shows.
Does anybody like coming on there?
I think it's going to be Nick, Dr. Bill starting, and Sam for the first 3 Meet the Voter.
But do any of them like Hillary?
Them? No, none of them like Hillary.
Okay.
What's to like?
I know.
I can't figure out who likes Hillary. I haven't met anybody that likes her yet.
Good.
Honestly, how does she have the following? I take that back. Having coffee, I did meet somebody that liked her. Older woman. And I told her I don't think she's going to last because of the security issues.
I don't know. I mean,
I'm going to write about. I'm going to write about her and the meds. Bring up the article I found.
I got to put my glasses to say hi.
Kevin.
There's Kevin. Hey, Kevin.
Yeah. You know,
Kevin from Scotland.
Yeah.
I was so disgusted when Lois Lerner.
Hey, Mike. Mike. I got a question. Sorry, Mike. I got a question for you. You said you wanted me to come on your show. When is it again? I heard 9:30, but didn't know what day. He's on his phone. Just send me an email.
I can find it. I can find it on.
Is he your network?
Did you see my question?
Network? You were. Oh yeah, you saw something. You said something about you did an interview yesterday.
Well, he did the interview and then said, "Come on in," and finished asking her my question, and she stayed on there quite a while. 1:30 Eastern.
Mike, what kind of mailing list do you have? Rob, excuse me.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Mailing list?
Yeah.
I don't mail anything. Oh, I don't do that.
Yeah. That's not. I do that too. I've got Infusionsoft. It's tough.
I don't even know what that is.
It's automated software. It's very difficult.
Then it's not very automated, is it?
If you get it, well, it's difficult. Once you get it set up, it works. I sure hate these glasses.
I've heard that promise a million times on a million products.
It's over. I'm paying too much for it. There's so many variables out there now. So anyway, I do need on this. I'm going to probably get You sound really good, by the way. Your mic solutions for having not a super expensive mic, it's definitely working.
Cool.
In some ways, it's good because you could do a heck of a webinar with your setup right there.
Yeah, I just need to go through some of the scenes and format them for the square aspect ratio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just drive it through.
The thing that's difficult is
480
on the live, but then when you go to the tweets and you go to the recordings, you actually end up with extra real estate on the sides.
Yeah, there's Mike. I thought you were on your phone, Mike.
It's a good phone.
No, I was able to switch over. I don't know if you guys, I'm sorry to interrupt, but do you guys have this? Sometimes I'll go on and it won't fire up on my
phone
laptop. I'll be able to, the boxes are black. Your names are there. I can prop you. I can see, I can comment.
Yeah, it happens.
I can't see you. And then I jump over to my phone and then I jump back and forth. So I don't know if any of you guys have experienced that.
Mm-mm.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've had it happen to me yesterday. Let me tell you something neat last night. We did a WP Tonic, and we had one of the top Genesis developers on in the country. We've had the very top people in WordPress on our show. Wow. And I had to go to a WordPress meetup downtown. So the show was over, the recorded part. They came on, more people came on and talked to Jonathan and the guest. And I stuck my phone in my pocket and listened to the show while I was driving down to the Collective. This is where we meet for WordPress. And then at WordPress, I show these folks, look what we're doing. Here's Jonathan talking to the top people in the country about WordPress. And then I'm going to turn this off. We're back on now. I mean, here you could be seeing and watching the very top in the world live and interacting. And then you've got these people who, now how do I download a plugin?
Yeah.
So
I think there's like two ways that you can look at it. So like a lot of the blabs that I see are technical people like myself that go in and they're having huddle conversations and they're talking about how we should use Blab, how we should monetize Blab.
Yeah.
And those are all valid conversations, but it's all people talking in a circle. So it's almost like these people all share their ideas, but they don't spend that energy turning around and going out and bringing people in. So it's just people talking among themselves and not sharing it with others.
It's like radio. I was listening to it while I was driving through my phone, and it was like as good as radio, the sound quality. And it was really, really good. And one of them was in a car with their laptop, the guest. It was pretty amazing. It'll be up on Sunday night in WP Tonic, the show, and it's up right now on, you can watch it on the YouTube, but the Twitter will be up. So anyway, I'm going to, Mike, when is your show that you wanted me to come on, or there's already been?
No, it's next Wednesday.
I'm going to put it on the calendar right now. That's way out.
Yeah, it's next Wednesday, which is the 16th at 1:30 Eastern.
Wait a second. Let me put this down. 1:30 Eastern, which is 9:30.
Well, no, it'd be
10:30.
Be 1:30, 12:30, 11:30, 10:30.
10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30. Let's see, 11:30, 12:30, 1:30.
Or no, yeah,
starts at 1:30.
11, 12:30, 1:30. Yeah, so 10.
Are you Eastern?
Yeah, Eastern time at 1:30 Eastern time.
Where are you at, Mike?
17th.
No, the 16th, which is a Wednesday. I'm in.
I'm open.
Chicago. I'm in Cleveland.
Yeah, Cleveland's just over the eastern side.
No, you got to go about the middle of Indiana before
really?
It flips. Right about where South Bend is, Notre Dame. That's where it flips.
What's the name of the show?
Keeping Up with the Blabdashians.
Oh, I did see that. That's your show?
New on Blab.
Is it? What's the name? What's the real name? Is that the real name?
Yeah.
Can you say Blabdashians, or will they send a letter?
I haven't got one yet. But you know what? I have Grammarly on my computer.
I do too. I love it.
And it corrected it, and guess where it wanted to send me to? It was Kardashians.
Kardashian and Blabdashian.
Stan.
That's good. I'll come on. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, I just talk about the basic stuff and anything that new. Like, this past show, we were talking about the fact that the reply button came back,
Yeah.
Mhm.
So anything that's new between then and now, we'll talk about. And then if nothing's really new, I said I keep it under 25 minutes.
Yeah, good.
The recording part of it.
And then open it up.
Yeah. Well, either open it up or just end it, depending on the engagement. But then, as far as the guest, then now engaging with the guest. But I like to do it throughout as well. Pretty loose, but just really trying to send the message, hey, there's nothing to be intimidated by getting on here, and then start your own.
Hey, speaking of that, let me shut off the recording, but I'm going to put some sound in. And this testing, what was the name of the show today? Testing out Boss Jock sound on Blab. So we're in the test zone of Netcasting 101 test zone today. Okay, let me just do this. Watch. So as we finish up the recorded part of this ad hoc test on Netcasting 101, the test zone, I got to get names, netcasting101.com, the test zone. Mike is on, and we're going to be doing a show next Wednesday at 10:30 Pacific called Keeping Up with a
Blabdashians.
Blabdashians. Thanks, Mike. Rob, thank you for your amazing studio. You can come up and see at the end of this Rob's amazing studio that he has put together, and we're waiting to get him up on timelines. Mike has had a timelines. If I find it today, I might even put it up today. Roxanne, you've been up on timelines. So Rob is the odd one. So Rob,
I'll be there.
is it too loud right now? I'm blowing out his ears, I think.
A little bit.
So we're helping. That's good. That's how I help him with sound. I can look here.
That's good.
And we can see it's about midway up. Okay, as we finish up. And there we go.
Sounds good.
And Rob and Roxanne, I want to put
And doing a lot of great things.
I just put that back on. What's the name of the show? Hit it or miss it?
Hit it or quit it.
Hit it or quit it. What's it about?
Hitting it or quitting it. Opposite sex, and so you basically
really?
you have two random guests in the show, and they ask each other questions. They may or may not have ever even talked to each other.
Oh, I see. That's crazy. That's like the dating game.
It is. It's hilarious. Like I said,
good.
yeah. The only thing that's horrible about the show is the timing.
There's three things that they say are the hot things. One is making money. That's one of the hot things. Two is health and fitness. And three is sex and relationships.
relationships. Yep.
Relationships. Those are the three things in marketing. Relationships, health, and money on the online environment.
Well, so I guess the Kardashians have two out of the three.
Well, Kardashians, what are they? Relationships
And money.
And money. Yeah.
They're not teaching people how to make money, though, are they?
No, they're definitely teaching people how to throw it away.
Yeah.
No, I was calling it learn Blab 25 minutes before lunch. That's why I came up with the 11:30 time because just Eastern time.
Yeah, that's
but
good.
Then say, hey, mix it up. Let's see what works. That's the beauty of this. I can test different stuff, and
I'd like to do my interviews. I think I'll do my interviews at 9, and then I want a time where I can come up for the people I'm helping, just to come up and see or talk or ask questions.
One thing that I'm surprised that nobody's done during the day is commenting on the current news of the day. So,
I want to.
Like
the Today Show. That's what I want to do.
We do it each week. We do Sunday. Meet the voter.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about is to talk about news that is happening today, right now. I mean, we could right now as consumers, the only thing we've really got is we've got the Drudge Report and websites like that, and then for broadcasting, we've got Fox News, CNN, stuff like that. But it would be neat. I'm surprised that there isn't a single show on Blab where nobody's come in and just done the news throughout the day.
I'm surprised there's not a city councilman in some city doing it for their city.
I've tried to do that. I've even went on the Blab Twitter page and asked if somebody wanted to do that with me, and nobody responded.
I do it with you. I don't know. I mean, we would have to work out a schedule, but that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you got to prep. Prep is everything.
Yeah.
Well, you have to prep the routine, but I don't know that you would even be able to prep the content because you're talking about live things, so you don't know necessarily what you're going to be talking about.
I guess you just look. Here's the other thing too that we do. We listen to iTunes and record radio. So if you created this and put it up on iTunes, like in the evening, somebody could listen to it when they go to bed at night.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing there?
I'm showing you like well, it's on a commercial now, but
Makes me want to get a PC.
the capabilities there to be able to do Fox News or CNN and the live show at the same time.
Yeah.
So you can be like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about.
Then you could record it and you put up on iTunes and people listen to it here. I like the rights to record that every day and put up on iTunes.
Yeah, I purposely haven't inserted the audio into it, and I don't know. I mean, I'm sure this is technically illegal. And
what?
Well, if I'm showing,
that's the news over there.
Yeah, it's.
You know, they just had a ruling that one guy had was grabbing out of the network the airways and then putting it on digital.
So he's rebroadcasting it.
Yeah, but it was pulling it out of the common airways, and I think he lost. But I think in the news you wouldn't lose because he was this is called there's free something, there's a name for it, free use, not free use, but fair use.
Fair use.
I think you can get away with fair use on that.
Really?
Because news, yeah.
So you think that I could, on a technicality, get away with having a live feed of CNN or Fox News and comment at the same time about it?
Maybe not CNN and Fox, but anything that comes over that's actually broadcast on a AM channel.
Well, but it wouldn't be visual, so it wouldn't be relevant.
No, well, it's broadcast on AM. I mean, if it was or is or some places broadcast, then that'd be a question on the cable. But on the broadcast, I think you definitely get away with it. Well, ABC News is broadcast. CBS, all of your news networks, you could do it, I think, without a problem. And you might be able to get away with Fox. And I think you could probably get away. Boy, he looks good.
Look at that.
You can do that. Under 60 seconds is the magic number.
It is. Okay.
Don't ask me for advice, but that's what I hear. That's rumor. Under 60 seconds.
Okay. Well, I'll play around with it and see if
the polls. You can definitely comment if somebody puts a poll up. You can definitely get the poll sources and put the poll up.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess now that you've seen this, Roxanne, in terms of capability, I'll think about what you might want to do, and then
what box is that?
What box?
What are you using? What platform?
So I'm controlling this with an iPad.
You're kidding me. What are you using? What's the software on the iPad?
Well, one of my software developers did the interface and the electronics. So basically it's designed so that when I come into the studio, when I turn the system on, it turns on the lights, the amplifiers, the displays, and it sets everything up for me. So I don't have to manually do anything. And then
that's crazy.
He and I came up with
that.
Yeah. Well, that's the point, right?
I'd like to get on that one.
Yeah. So then we have an interface like this so that as a broadcaster, I can just look at my touch panel. And then if I want to change the scenes like this, it's just a button press. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, cool. I want to interview people. So, cause I'm an epilepsy advocate and I'm trying to get people to interview that have epilepsy. So there's a lot.
Well, it's 10 o'clock, almost 10 my time on Blab is over. 5 more minutes because then I'm going to go into editing a show. Let me see what show I'm going to edit today. And by the way, I'm pausing again. Yeah, I just
show me that book and I'll start adhering to it. But in the meantime, when people when individuals decide that it's time for them to be offended and not, it's just a ridiculous rabbit hole to go down.
As a councilman, almost 6 years, true story. 2 things. The newspaper used to control a lot of the dialogue, and they changed the word from Hispanic to Latino, and that was accepted that everyone would say Latino. And this is in Modesto, California. No. The other thing that happened right before Christmas, I was coming back when I shouldn't have off of a deployment. It was right after 9/11. I snuck back into a council meeting because I was passionate about not building downtown, using Title X affordable money downtown. I was hearing I did community parks development, which is housing development, all that stuff early on. And I believe you put even though I'm not a big believer in Title VIII, but you put the Section 8 properties out ahead of the development, so the development is there. Well, they wanted to build this Section 8 downtown. My company had torn down Section 8 in Santa Ana, had issues, not torn down, but we worked around it and seen in Santa Ana where there's no parks, schools, or anything. And I said during this discussion, the room was filled with Latinos. And during the discussion, I said, it was mostly Latinos. And I said that in this community that the buildings were torn down because it was filled with kids, fairly large families. And there was no schools, parks, or places. And it was a bad place for kids downtown Santa Ana. We wanted to get them out in the communities, out with the people. I said that. The newspaper reporter, who I couldn't stand, twisted my words so bad you can't believe it. The Latinos were there. They weren't mad at all. It was recorded, thank goodness. Anyway, he basically said in the newspaper, he went to 3 Latino leaders. So what do you think of Conrad saying if we build affordable housing downtown Modesto, Mexicans will move in, which I didn't say. And they'll have large families, and they'll create barrios and ghettos. Well, I did say it was a barrio and ghetto because it was truth. But that was in the paper. I was pounded so hard, and I didn't do anything for 2 weeks. We had a break for Christmas. I came back, and then I was going back in the military, by the way. I came back. The mayor, I was vice mayor at the time, let me actually play the clip in front of everybody. I had TV channels, everything, because Conrad was a racist. When I paid the clip, it was clear that I wasn't a racist at all. But I never got an apology from the newspaper. I never apologized. So I felt it firsthand how things can be twisted. But it's funny what you brought that up. It is true. If you're going to be in politics, you have to watch your words. And that's why politicians generally don't go on shows like this. But I think you can now. Trump is breaking all the rules, by the way. Trump is doing stuff that no one has done. But Hillary, but in my book, Hillary's a crook. Hillary, I mean, she's broken the law. She should go to jail for what happened on that class. People will go to jail on that classified. She may not.
She will.
Whoever bridged it will go to jail. Somebody bridged that classified. And there's too many FBI agents who know the truth. And they won't all be quiet.
Yeah.
And a report will come out. So anyway, I got an off cycle there. I came back on. But it's true what you said. You bring a lot of common sense. What you need to do is come on our show as a guest, keep level-headed and cool, and talk about those things.
Yeah.
You'd be great. Well, you should come on second hour Sunday. First hours.
I thought last Sunday was fine. I mean, I didn't agree with what much of the guys said, but it was calm.
That's okay to not agree. Yeah. It's okay. We want discussion. Well, I can schedule in first period. Sam is going to be in too, I think. Now, Sam can get kind of testy, and she misunderstands. She's young. She misunderstands stuff.
I don't think I've seen her. Is that the same one you were talking about?
Let me try to get you on. Hey, can I block you for Sunday?
I got to check with my producer / wife.
Say it as soon as possible. Sunday it would be 12:30 your time. Actually, 1 o'clock your time, because I'm going to try to shoot it to 10 to start recording.
I don't know what my wife has planned.
Well, just tell me. Just get back with me soon, like tonight.
Okay.
Send me an email or whatever. Call me on my phone. Hopefully I have your phone number. And just leave a message, a voice message. Roxanne, you'll be up one of the hours. But I really want to get that first hour. I want to get unique personalities in there and cycle everybody in that I record.
That'd be good.
I think you bring a lot to the show.
Thank you.
Especially if you had that studio like that.
Yeah, well, and then that's kind of the bummer, right? Because on Sundays I'll never be here at the studio.
But it was good. You still had good quality. Yeah, I'm gonna run for sure this time. I'm gonna shut it off because I'm listening. I'll come back up.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll be back. Roxanne and I are gonna bait you.
Drive on, build it on. Last night I watched Miracle on 34th Street again, and as I'm sure we always do. But this year it particularly hit me because you remember, have you seen it this season yet, or do you remember the movie?
Yeah.
So there's the psychologist that works at Macy's, right? And he condemns Santa Claus to being insane. And that persona is still prevalent today with people that are like you'll see this a lot with agnostics and like climate change advocates, where it's all about science, and it's more important that somebody be right about something than be
open-minded.
I don't know if open-mindedness is the right word. I guess maybe rigid is the word. I don't know, but the point, what got me this 50th time, or not 50th, but 12th time in watching Miracle on 34th Street was just the whole premise of the movie is Santa Claus real, and is it actually this person, right?
Yeah.
And for that attorney, it was more important. He was more willing to prove that Santa Claus wasn't real knowing the consequences of kids crying, stores not having employees, sales not being made. But to him, it was more important that he be right than being cognizant of the consequences of his being right. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I look back thinking about Christmas, and you know, I'm saddened because in my neighborhood, when I first moved into our house about 10 years ago, all of my neighbors decorated their trees, and you know, I mean, I don't think every one of them was a Christian. There's agnostics and Christians and Jewish people and Buddhists, and I mean, a whole range of things. But we all collectively decorated our houses because it was cooler to see the whole neighborhood lit up than just one or two houses, you know. And it's sad because I live in a neighborhood of about 30 houses total. And like I said, 10 years ago, I'm sure that of that 30, 24 of them decorated. And this year it's down to like 3. And it's like, man, wow. Visually it looks so embarrassing because I don't know. Like I said, that's what made me kind of mindful of Miracle on 34th Street is that you may be absolutely right factually or scientifically on something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's right in other respects. Because we've so beat up Christmas that it's not even like fun anymore. I mean, even if you don't believe that in Christ or you're not a Christian, that doesn't mean that you still can't get excited about Christmas in general, particularly with the commercialization. I mean, you can make it about a fictitious Santa Claus, and you can make it about Christmas trees. But how it got injected to it being offensive to people, and then I don't know, it's bothersome because it's like you watch Miracle on 34th Street and you see how like excited the city of New York City is, right? With all the stores decorating and everybody being excited and, you know, laughing children. And now you can't, you know, they don't call it Christmas break. You know, they really try to tell the kids, even in my kids' middle school and high school, that while they can't stop you from wearing a red Christmas hat, it's like, really, you're going to start a conversation like, we can't legally stop you from wearing a red Santa hat, but we prefer that you don't. I mean, really? I mean, that's not even Christian. I mean, that's not even religion. That's,
I know.
I don't know. It's sad.
Yeah, it is. And I got on a blab one night, and
you got to watch it, Sean.
I got I don't know. One girl said that how she used to believe in God, but now she doesn't because stuff that's happened. And I just don't understand that. And I said, you ought to read, should read what I wrote because of what happened to me, that, yeah, I got mad at God, but I still believe in God. I said, I don't know how people, then they fight over, well, you just don't see how science has always changed and grown and grown. And I tell them, I said, well, look, it's technology. What they didn't have back then, what we have now, to look deeper into our bodies and the science, how, I mean, we've just grown with that. Not that it's just, some people I can't change their minds. Well, they don't understand me.
I don't know. It's hard chasing down people's logic, because if on the liberal perspective they'll say, well, they'll talk about we got to get religion out of politics, and then you take a completely different set of circumstances or facts and apply them to something that's non-religious. So like gun control, it is a fact, provable over and over and over and over again, that the states with the fewest gun laws are the safest, and those with the strictest gun laws are the least safe. But they don't apply that logic to other things of being offended by transgenderism or whatever it is. They don't equally apply the reason. which to me then makes it irrational.
I also mentioned how the boy was in Georgia where he went and shot in the black church, African American church. What's it? Or South Carolina?
I forgot his name. Yeah.
Well, I forgot
I forgot his name.
But I told him how people started talking about us in the South and him and the flag, the rebel flag. But I had to mention to somebody, this was on Google. I had to mention, I said, yeah, but we didn't protest. You know, we forgive. We didn't protest. Or they did. I wouldn't have protested, but they didn't protest. They forgave.
There was a tweet yesterday that I retweeted. And it was, I think Obama had made some comment about climate change is why Islam is becoming terroristic. I forgot what it was, but the point of the tweet was like, well, if that's the case, then why haven't you seen Christians and Jews commit violent acts if it's attributable to climate change? I don't know. It was just kind of funny.
Yeah. Well, something came up, and so I have to head out.
Okay.
It just came up, and my daughter's almost getting ready to get off the bus too. Okay?
Well, it was great talking with you, Roxanne. I look forward to seeing you again on Bio.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.